For those of you who don't know, back in 2020, Leon Schuster was cancelled during the BLM movement after George George Floyd's death. Past movies, most of his past movies, and as recently August of 2025, the ban was lifted. So I'm gonna read this article by Jan Vermeulen. MultiChoice has lifted bans on Leon Schuster's older films, allowing them to return to DSTV and Showmax after removing them from its platforms for alleged racial insensitivity. So MultiChoice owns DSTV and Showmax both. The pay TV broadcaster was among many that reviewed the content following the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement in the wake of the death of George Floyd in May 2020. One of the prominent topics under discussion at the time was blackface, where someone who is not black wears makeup to make themselves look like a black person. Leon Schuster often used makeup and masks to disguise himself as people of color in his movies, including Indians and black people, which was part of the multi-choice decision to remove him. Now, I understand that in blackface has become a no-go zone. It's basically you can get into trouble for it. But when it comes to identity politics, South African way, not even the people's basic needs often met, has no place getting involved in identity politics. We have the biggest gap between the poor and the rich on the planet. In fact, our involvement is in these kinds of things. I don't understand it. The humor of Leon Schuster's movies, a lot of it came from him being a white man, dressing as people, different colors, different backgrounds, and not being able to speak the language. That was the joke. He would often like speak gibberish while he was dressed like that, and that was the whole joke behind it. We would knew who he really was. Movies like Mama Jack, I've seen that so many times. He was a white man. He not only dressed as a black person, he dressed as a black woman. Now that's the time. It still is. It's really funny. MultiChoice own streaming service Showmax removed several films from its platform on 19 June 2020 as a precautionary measure pending a review to ensure there is no racially insensitive material. These included six of Schuster's films: Sweet and Short, Shucks at Schuster, You Must Be Joking Too, Shucks Pay Back the Money, and Frank and Fearless. Frank and Fearless is quite a new one. MultiChoice also banned 30 of Schuster's other movies from its platforms: Mr. Bones 2, Back on Mama Jack. Following a review, most of the bans were made permanent. Leon Schuster does not have a race bone in his body. But his reply, of course, he's an old man now, being a nice guy that he is, replied with, if it doesn't make people happy, it makes him unhappy, and he's not going to do it anymore. And it's basically like bullying. That's the way I see it. Showmax said then that it recognized these movies were product of a time and were created with positive intent. It's not our place to tell people what is right or nor what they should find offensive, but we will make decisions as to what context we are comfortable hosting, said Showmax. We believe that platforms such as ours have a role to play in bringing people together through shared experiences. It continued. We don't want to shy away from polarizing topics, but we don't want to sow division. We don't always get the balance right, but we'll do our best to listen, to learn from our mistakes. Okay, if Leon's movies are removed, how many other movies with jokes involving race has to be removed? Rush Hour is on TSTV all the time. 30 Hour movies. So what about those movies? I'm sure there are others that plays on TSTV. So are we gonna go over every movie looking for what is insensitive or racist? On Sunday, Afrikaans newspaper reported that MultiChoice had quietly reversed its ban on Schuster films, with Showmax publishing a Leon Schuster movie collection on Thursday. According to the report, this comes as MultiChoice owned Afrikaans channel Kyknet is working on a documentary about Schuster, produced by Ryan van Heerden's Verwakkel, selected for a 1 October release. They only lifted the ban after someone started making a documentary about Leon Schuster. This is quite disrespectful. So I understand it would be weird to make a documentary about him while he's still banned from these platforms. According to the reporters comes as multi-choice oud Afrikaans channel Kyknet is working on a documentary about Schuster produced by Ryan van Heerden Spurwalko slated for 1 October release. Kyknet also presented Schuster with a Lifetime Achievement Award at its Silver Skermfees, which was held from 20 to 23 August 2025 in Cape Town. The report also said that Netflix South Africa was in discussions with Schuster for a new film that if they greenlight it will be available worldwide through the streaming service. So they're planning on making a Netflix movie that's shown across the world. Like he was banned for 4 or 5 years. The worst part of the ban is that he was banned for nearly half a decade, or half a decade. And at the time, why did nobody even come to his defense? Leon Schuster has been making movies since the 80s. Now, if I got the math right, that's before Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle. That's before Trevor Noah was ever a comedian. He's been making films for a long time, and the disrespect is appalling, honestly. My broadband first reported that Netflix had shown interest in Schuster's concept for a new movie in 2020, shortly after his films were removed from Showmax. Schuster said at the time that they had approached Netflix, Showmax, and other entities within MultiChoice to support and fund the movie. Schuster said initial feedback from Netflix had been positive. The film turned out to be Mr. Bones' Theory, Son of Bones, which MultiChoice owned. Mnet Movies picked up. It was released in 2022 and it's available on Showmax. So the movie ended up never playing on Netflix. I believe that other audiences, foreign audiences, probably would question the blackface as well, but that's not the point that I'm getting at. The point is that he was without a doubt a comedy legend. Nobody defended him at the time. I'm sure he had no bad intent. To ban him for half a decade is crazy. Asked about the return of Schuster movies to its platform, MultiChoice said it could confirm that they are not banned from its platforms. As a broadcaster, we review all contents to ensure it aligns with set regulations, MultiChoice said. Showmax is currently rolling out content from Leon Schuster's collection, with titles like Sweet and Short, There's a Zulu on My Stoop, The Country Needs You, Shucks, I'm Grateful, and Shucks Pay Back the Money, available from 28 August 2025. Of all issues in South Africa, the racial insensitivity of blackface is the least of problems, and the disrespect of Leon Schuster has been. He's a legend, he's an African legend, without a doubt. In my book, he's one of the goats of comedy, up there with Dave Chappelle, without a doubt. And it's just the fact that nobody came to his defense until 2025, where as they slowly working back into DSTV, into Showmax. But I question that they probably only did this because they needed him for the documentary. Thank you for watching.